Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello and good morning everyone. My name is Mahsa Kaulika. My student number is 2018 0510062, and today presentation I'm going to present to you about topic that I take to fulfill presentation assignment in Muslim World Studies class. Title is Indonesian government response towards Indramayu migrant worker issue in Saudi Arabia. So without any further ado, let's get jump to the discussion. First thing first, I want to tell you guys about the outline of today's presentation. The first part is introduction, and the second is research question. The third is theoretical framework that really helps me in understanding this issue. The fourth part is finding and discussion, whereas I want to deliver to you about what are Indonesian government response in tackling issue of migrant worker in Saudi Arabia, and the last part is conclusion. Okay, so we are in introduction part. First thing that I want to describe to you in introduction part is about the definition of migrant itself. Migrant traditionally refers to people who decide to move as a form of life choice, and they're actually aim to join a family that already living abroad in order to search a livelihood or various other purposes, mostly caused by the lack of knowledge of migrant workers themselves in understanding the culture and language, where these two things are very important to understand, because so that migrant workers can understand what to do and what to avoid, as not to irritate or upset the employer, so the violence against the migrant workers can be avoided. And the reason behind why some people decide to be a migrant is because they were unable to continue to find a job due to several reasons. In this discussion, I want to take Indramayu as one of the city located in West Java as a scope of study that I'm going to analyze. The low educational background and economic income of the people who live in rural area of Indramayu made many workers, especially women, choose to work abroad as the migrant worker in Saudi Arabia. After previous explanation regarding about the introduction part, here we are in research question that I'm trying to answer in this discussion is regarding about how is the response of Indonesian government to tackle these migrant worker issues. In this third part, I want to elaborate about theoretical framework that I use in understanding this issue. There are two main theoretical framework that I use in this presentation. The first is rational choice theory, and the second is public policy. So simply, rational choice theory can be understood as an action taken by an individual in an action that is definitely purposive or purposeful, which means it has a purpose in every action that taken by an individual. The second theoretical framework that I use in understanding the government policy is the theory of public policy. So Thomas Dye defines that public policy as anything government choose to do or not to do. Public policy can also be defined as an act taken by a state in solving a problem by issuing policy that are regulated, substantive, and consist of procedure. According to public policy theory, Indonesian government is very active in its effort to protect the migrant worker issue, not only in Saudi Arabia, but also migrant issue all over the world. Okay, so in finding and discussion part, I want to deliver to you about what are the government program and policies that taken by Indonesian government along with its Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Consulate General of the Republic of Indonesia in Jeddah. There are three main actions that taken by Indonesian government in tackling the issue of migrant worker. The first is pre-departure orientation and reintegration program for returned migrant workers. So in this program, Indonesian government giving the training, the pre-departure training, and there is also the special program made the government of Indonesia to the migrant worker who have returned home. Besides that, Indonesian government also create the digital protection towards the migrant workers abroad by the creation of Peduli WNI portal in official website of Ministry of Foreign Affairs, which include consultation, the immigration, and also the employment service, and also Consulate General of the Republic Indonesia in Jeddah also provide the legal socialization and also integrated services, or known as pelayanan terpadu or YANDU. Whereas in this program, Indonesian government is providing protection for the migrant workers who work abroad. Whereas in this program, there are various programs are carried out and are continuously developed so that case of violence that are faced by the migrant workers can be resolved based off the fulfillment of the human rights. So these are the activities that run by Indonesian government through Consulate General of Republic Indonesia in Jeddah, whereas you guys can see it more deeply in official website of Kemenlu or Ministry of Foreign Affairs. And the important things that we have to know, some of the policies made the Indonesian government are sometimes inconsistent or not in accordance with the policies implemented in the local area, thus making the effort of Indonesian government a little bit difficult. In this regard, Saudi Arabia country applying the kafila system as it can be understood by the employer system, where if we look back at the history, the system has indeed been applied in Saudi Arabian countries years ago. It does not allow the worker to work independently without any kafil who ensure their existence in the country. It is the thing that makes Indonesian government is very careful in creating a policy regarding about the migrant issues. So here we are. To conclude this presentation, so international migration, which carried out by some of the people living in Indramayu, used as a strategy to earn a living and to save families' economic situation. In handling cases of violence experienced by migrant workers, Indonesian government also continues to do its best in giving protection to the migrant workers. It is shown by the various programs that created by Indonesian government, which are continuously developed, and the shared responsibility makes the protection agenda will be more leveraged. So I think that's all for my presentation. Thank you and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.